And we are live. Good evening, and welcome to the Expect to Win Experience Talk Show. I'm Kandi Knight.
And I am Coach Thomas, and we are coming to you live from beautiful.
All right, the Expect to Win Experience Talk Show live from beautiful Los Angeles. Once again, I'm your co-host Kandi Knight, and on this show, we highlight and speak with student athletes, learn a little bit about them, and talk to little greats along the way. And tonight, we're talking all things basketball. Coach, how's your evening going?
My evening is going great, Candy. I'm not in my traditional expect to win. Uh, uh, it's a long story, but making it short,
That's right.
I was glad. I believe National Women's Day is Monday, but
It's a
at any
month.
rate,
It's the whole
I wanted to
month.
pay
Yeah.
this whole month. Y'all get a whole month, huh?
Yes. Yes,
When
we
is
do.
National Men's Month?
That I do not know.
When is,
Yes, Father's Day. How about that?
but yeah, okay. Well, we can take that. But I wanted to pay tribute, and I'll probably do it every Saturday now since I know it's the whole month. To
Yeah.
the lovely Miss, probably one of the most underrated singers ever, Miss Minnie Riperton. And
Yeah. Come on,
those of
Kenny.
you who may not even know who Minnie Riperton is, Minnie Riperton passed away at the very young age of 31 from
Wow.
breast cancer. And her daughter, Maya Rudolph, was on Saturday Night Live, and she's an actress, very
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
that's what and so I love Minnie Riperton's music, and I'm actually working on a painting to one of her songs. So
Very
maybe
nice.
I'll show it. But I feel great. I mean, oh my God,
Good.
it was just a great day today. I'm out hanging out by the beach, and
It
you
was
know,
beautiful. Yes, I got pictures.
yes, yes. So it's amazing how living in Southern California, you can go to the beach in the winter. I think it's still winter time. I don't know what it is.
Technically, yeah. Technically, spring didn't start, I think, until the 20th.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
I'm
we want
jealous, though.
well, you'll be here in the summer, so
That's right. I sure will.
we'll
I'm
be
going to
good.
soak up some sun in LA.
Yes, yes, yes. Well, we're gonna go ahead and have our first commercial break before we bring on our guest tonight. And wow, I love the fact that for Women's Month we have a female athlete, a
We
basketball
do.
player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
How about the ladies?
we have a video, everybody. So, and from what I saw, she is good. She
Mm-hmm.
is good. So we're gonna see. We're gonna play this first commercial, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. The Expect to Win Experience Talk Show. I'm Coach Thomas.
And I'm Kandi Knight. We'll be back. BU Expect to Win. And we're back. Our Saturday night show. the Expect to Win Experience talk show. And tonight we're talking all things basketball to kick off Women's History Month. We're talking to a female athlete tonight. Coach?
Okay, why don't you tell our audience a little bit about her and her name, and then we'll play her video, and then we'll bring
Okay.
her on.
Okay, so tonight's guest is none other than Miss Jamia Nesmith. She is 18 years old and she is a senior at Bishop Kenny High School in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. She's number 35 and she's a power forward for her team. She is recently committed to the University of Charleston in West Virginia, so she's got a bright future ahead of her. And we're going to talk to Jamia here in just a moment after we watch her video. So let's see what Jamia's talking about on the court.
All right, here we go.
J Beats on the track, boy.
All right, and so you just watched a
All right.
highlight video. That was Jamia Nesmith, power forward at Bishop Kenny High School in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. She was doing her thing on the tape there. I saw that crossover going up to the goal. She's
I
doing her
told you she's
thing. All
good.
right.
So let's
Yeah,
bring her
okay.
on, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Jamia Nesmith.
Nesmith.
Hello.
There she
Jamia,
is.
welcome.
Welcome.
All right, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good, doing good. Thanks for joining us to kick off our Women's History Month.
Of course.
That's right. Represent for the ladies on the court. So let's get right into it. Talking about Women's History Month, how has it been for you being a lady or young lady playing basketball in a game that's usually dominated, by men in the NBA?
It's actually been good. It's been quite an experience actually. I'm actually used to always like growing up and hanging around boys and training with them. So they've empowered me a lot. So it's been good just to like know that like they're in my corner. Like I actually look up to them. So I think it's good. Like it goes both ways. Like they inspire me just as much as I inspire them.
That's awesome. Now, do you still play with the young men, when you're not at school or not with your teammates?
I try to from time to time, like especially in the summer, because believe it or not, I feel like they make me better than girls. Like just because
They play a little harder.
exactly. So I actually enjoy playing with them a little more than I do the girls. Actually,
That's good. Now, how is that? I know it's a little friendly competition because the fellas, they may say, "Oh, you're a girl," but I know that some of them you're really beating.
Right. At first, I saw it as a challenge, like growing up when I was younger, because they were always like bigger than me, taller than me, faster.
Mm-hmm.
But like as I started to develop with them, I was like, okay, like if I can keep up with them, I can basically keep up with anybody. And
There you
it's
go.
on the show. Yeah. So
There you go.
I saw, Jamia, that you recently made history at your school by scoring your 1,000 point.
Wow.
yes.
Girl, how did that
That's
feel? How did
huge.
it feel when you found out, or did you know? Were you keeping track, or what was the moment when you found out?
I had an idea that I was close to eclipsing 1,000 points, but when it actually happened, like I was in awe. Like I just sat back and I was like, 1,000 points, like that's actually a lot because not everybody does that in their career. So like it meant a lot that night when I.
Absolutely. That's so awesome. How did you celebrate, or did you even celebrate?
Um, no, I mean I celebrated like with my teammates in the locker
Mm-hmm.
room after, but like because we were doing it was during playoffs, like we were just like, okay,
Mm,
it's fun and all, but like we gotta start
right.
thinking who's next to be.
Get focused for the next game. Okay, so is your season over
Um,
already?
it actually ended Thursday. We lost to the number 2 team in the country, like Holland
Oh,
Prep, in
wow.
the finals by 12 points.
Oh, wow. Okay, but it seems like you guys had a pretty good run this past season. How was your last season in, high school?
It was actually good. We won our district, we won regionals, and we made an appearance in Final Four for the third year in a row, if I'm not mistaken. So it
Awesome.
was successful.
Do you find how as far as the other students at your school, do you see a big difference in how they treat the boy athletes, as well as compared to female athletes, or how is it at your school? Is there a difference, or is everybody
Not
equally?
necessarily different. If anything, I think we're actually more popular because we've
Uh-oh.
there in basically like all of our years. So, I mean, but the support is pretty equal. Like our student section is actually like fairly like lit. They get us
And
pretty.
that's really good that they're coming to cheer you guys on just as much as the guys. Yeah, that's
So it feels
awesome.
good to know we have their support.
Well, good. So we did reach that you just committed to the University of Charleston. How was that experience for you? And were they one of your top schools, or how is the buzz still going around with your commit?
Yes, ma'am. They actually were on the top of my list. They have a great coaching staff. Me and Coach T, their head coach, were actually pretty close. She's been recruiting me since I was a junior, since my junior year, and ever
Mm-hmm.
since then, we just stayed in contact. And she finally pulled the trigger
All
and all.
right, got you in there. All right, so I know you're excited to get started in the fall. Now with COVID, hopefully it'll be gone by then. But in case it's still around, what does that look like for you, or the training? I guess when you guys begin.
For them, I know I leave in August, but most of my training, like over the summer and everything, since we're like not Division 1, I'll be training here, and then by the time I go up, then that's when we'll start like conditioning and weightlifting.
Okay, in the fall. Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. So do you know what you're studying when you go?
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna be studying psychology.
Nice.
Yes, ma'am.
Very nice.
I saw a picture on your Twitter page, and it looked like you had a huge amount of family members behind you. Do you get a lot of family support? How do your family feel? And let me ask you this, Jimmy. I saw a video, and it said that if your dad is not hyping the crowd like this, was that
Yes.
I, I started to show it, but I didn't want to do it without asking.
No, it's okay. But yes, I actually had a lot of family support because everyone understood that it was like my last year, so they just wanted
Mhm.
they could with coming out and saying. But yes, on my birthday, because my birthday was on senior night this year, like I had a whole fan section, everything. It
That's
was,
awesome.
and the thing about my dad is we were in the regional semifinal. Was it? Yeah, against Rains High School. That's one of our biggest rivals.
Mm,
I just remember it was a couple seconds left, and everybody's just hyped. And like I turn around, I just see my dad like just going like this to the crowd. I'm like,
There you go.
I mean, I guess I'm here for it.
Go, Dad. That's the way
Right.
you
We love that support. We do. Speaking of dad, so I'm assuming you started playing basketball when you were younger and dad had a big part in it. How old were you when you began?
I first started when I was in 6th grade. I remember coming home and because I heard on the announcements in middle school, they were like, basketball trials start in 2 weeks, like anybody can come out. And just growing up, like being tall, everybody was like, oh my gosh, like you should play. So I was like, I'm not doing anything else. So I'll give it a try. So I remember I came to him and he was like, are you sure? And I was like, I mean, I guess I'm bored. And he was like, if you're gonna have my last name on your back, like you gotta go all out.
Uh-oh.
Okay, right. So being that he was a personal trainer, I just started small with him, and then as my confidence grew, I just kept going, and it all worked out, I guess.
It sure did. I know he has to be so proud. Now, you spoke of your height briefly. How tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Oh, wow, you are tall.
It
I'm sure that works for your benefit. Yeah.
Right. I agree.
So, do you have aspirations of going to the WNBA or?
Everybody asks me that. I mean, if I was asked to get like, let's say my name came up in the draft or they asked me to play overseas, then I would consider it, yes. But my goal is to go to grad school and study criminology and sociology and hopefully join the FBI.
All right, FBI. Now, speaking of that, we actually are getting a headquarters. So I'm in Alabama, Huntsville to be exact, and we're getting an FBI headquarters here. So in the event, you may be here in my city one day. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So do you have any ladies that you look up to in the WNBA or either, any guys that you like to pattern your game after or that you've been looking up to for a while?
The person in the NBA that I've been looking up to for a while is Kevin Durant. I remember one middle school game and I was shooting free throws and like I always wore KDs. Like I had them in every color, like same style. Wow. And somebody was like, she's the lady Kevin Durant. And I was because I wasn't really watching like the NBA in middle school. So I remember coming home and looking up who he was. And I remember my dad would always tell me, like, you have to model your game after somebody, like, pick up and just your game. So I was like, I found my player, like, it's Kevin Durant, and that's hence my number's 35. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was going to ask what your number 35 came from, and there you go. So that's pretty good. I mean, he's pretty popular. He has a pretty good game, so that's cool.
Well, I'm gonna make sure we send this video to the Brooklyn Nets.
Right. Let's say.
So what message do you want to send to Kevin Durant?
I'm a huge fan of following since I was in middle school. Somebody actually has number 35 in college, so hopefully I can change it to 7 just like him. Thank you for being a big inspiration.
Absolutely. Out here influencing these up and coming athletes. And speaking of which, what advice would you give to up and coming young girls who want to start or who have an interest in basketball to get to your level?
The biggest thing is just having confidence in yourself and everything that you do. And hard work eliminates fear. So with hard work and confidence, you can do anything. Continue to trust God and put him first in all that you do. And from here on out, you'll just be successful.
And you just spit that out so easily, like you just was engraved. Yeah, that's awesome for sure. You got to practice. You got to have the confidence to make it through. I love it. Yeah. So let's talk about challenges, though. We know that it's always a journey to get to where you are, the good and the bad. What are some challenges that you faced in playing sports, whether it's been being a female or just something you dealt with personally to get to your level?
I've actually faced a lot of like adversity with schools that I've chosen like in the past to go to. Like I started out at Providence High School in Jacksonville, and I chose that school for basketball specifically. But there was just like a lot that I dealt with like racism and just like trouble just like adapting, finding a healthy balance of school and basketball, and like with all that coming, it was just hard and challenging. So I transferred to Bishop Kenny my junior year, and I'm not gonna say like it was easy either because like you can't like avoid racism like thing.
Right.
Can't avoid it. So of course it was still some racism there, but it wasn't as bad. And coming to a basketball team like whose foundation was on like love and family, it was easy to just block all of it out because like love conquered everything. Like it was so much
Right.
than like the hate I was dealing with. So it just made it easier to like find myself and be comfortable knowing that I had everybody's support and like everything that I did, and they always had my back. So yes, I found my
That's
family.
good.
So,
That
Well,
is awesome.
I heard something, Jamia, and Kandi tried to be slick, but I caught it. She tried to recruit you to come to Alabama for the
Well, you
FBI.
know.
But
right?
Kandi and I always see. I'm in Los Angeles, so
Mhm.
Kandi is in Alabama, and we have this little thing we do. You know, where's the best place, the best school? Uh, the University of Southern California or Alabama? Uh,
Well,
which would you say is the better school?
basketball wise, we did just win the championship with the guys. So
But California is really, really pretty.
it
Yeah,
is.
Might
yeah.
have to
And
go with you on that one.
so
All
so
right.
we will see you with the LA Sparks.
You never know. Sneaking into
That would be awesome just to see you on that level, period. So that'd be great.
Definitely. Jamia, I saw a scripture on your Twitter page. Commit to the Lord, whatever you do, and your plans will succeed. I thought that was awesome coming from
Hmm.
a young lady. What does that mean to you?
Well, my faith has always been like a big part in how I started basketball because, like you said, like I faced a lot of adversity. So there was times when I was down and like didn't want to talk about it. So instead of like talking to people, like I would just go like straight to the Bible, pray about it, and like your answers would just like magically appear.
Mm,
So that's what happened. So that was I felt as of right now where I'm at in life, that was one of my biggest accomplishments was committing and going to college for free basically. So I was like, why not like give it all back to God? Because like
hmm.
if it wasn't for him, like I wouldn't even be here. So I was like, what better
Absolutely.
to like and capture that all than with the Bible verse.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Now, before your games, do you have a ritual? Do you pray before your games or read scriptures before you get
I
started?
usually pray before the games. Like I have the Bible app, so there's like these certain prayers that I pray. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that, and then I usually pray for the team. Like everybody calls me the preacher of the team.
Oh,
Yeah, what I used to do in middle school and high school, some of high schools, right? Philippians 4:13 on my wrist.
that's right.
Wow. Well, we're gonna take another break, and we're gonna come back with our guest, Jamia. Say the last name, Kandi.
Nesmith. That's right. Jamia Nesmith.
Jamia Nesmith. We'll be back with Jamia Nesmith, and we're going to play a word association game, and we're going to have our second commercial break of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Expect to Win experience with Coach Thomas,
And Candy.
Kandi Knight,
And
and
Jamia.
Jamia Nesmith.
Yes.
We'll be back in 60 seconds. We are back. You know, we have a comment, which I love this. a young Kandi. Are you frozen? I think Kandi is frozen. Okay, well, we're gonna pull Kandi out until she get unfrozen. But
Okay.
we have a comment from a young man that was our guest last week, Jamia Nesmith, and he said that she is tough.
Thank you.
So we have you have a comment, Mia, and we're gonna wait for Miss Kandi to come back. But let's tell me this: do you have any brothers and sisters? Are your brothers and sisters athletic? And your parents? I think you say your dad is a personal trainer. Uh, how about your mom? Is your mom athletic?
My mom played softball and she cheered. My dad played football on a collegiate level. He also played basketball and baseball. And then my brother is actually on a varsity baseball team at Terry Parker High School in Jacksonville. And he starts as a sophomore on varsity. And he started as a freshman, so I guess he's pretty good.
Wow. Okay. Do you guys compete? Do you ever play against him in baseball, and he play against you in basketball?
I'm not the best at baseball. I mean, like I can catch and throw, but basketball, he was actually pretty good until he stopped. But we play 1-on-1 a lot. He's okay. He used to beat me a lot actually, but now he can't stop me. He'll be okay.
What is a moment that you can think of that just like gave you chills in one of your games?
Um. Oh wow.
Was it a buzzer
Probably
beater or somebody you stopped somebody? I mean, just a moment that just
somebody.
okay.
I'll either say the Reigns game in the regional semifinal where I had to face guard this girl and she didn't score on me like the whole second half. She was leading and scoring the first half, and my coach was like, face guard her, shut her down the whole second half. She didn't score. Or when we played Mainland High School from Daytona, I remember watching her in film and I was just like, wow, like she's killer. Like she averaged 22 points. My coach was like, Jamia, you got her. I was like, okay. My goal when I'm guarding like someone's best player is to hold them to half they average. She only scored 6. So
Wow.
yeah.
I always thought every time I see a basketball game and they say, okay, the coach is designing plays. I always thought you put the ball in the hoop. That's it. But I just heard
Right.
you say the coach said face guard. What does that mean?
Face guard basically means that I'm facing the person on offense the whole time. So like she's standing up like I'm in her face like this and I'm just following her around everywhere she goes. She cannot touch the ball. Like, the object is for her not to catch the ball. So
Okay. Okay. All right. Because I always, Kandi left us again. And I always thought, I'm like, what kind of play can you draw up? Pass the ball and shoot it. That's
and
all you have to do. But obviously, there's more to it than
there's levels to this.
that. What are you looking forward to most in college?
um Honestly, playing defense at another level. My thing, I love playing defense. So just like being able to guard someone like 94 feet and not letting them score, I just find so much pride in that. And of
Wow.
course scoring. But I like playing defense the most.
Wow. Who you okay, you Kevin Garnett, and you say you like playing against the guys because they challenge you more. Uh have you who was your toughest female opponent?
Um I'd say the toughest female like that I've had to guard was Kaylin Gilbert. She's in the class of 22 actually. She just committed to Arizona. Yeah,
Okay.
she's pretty tough. So hats off to her.
Well, you giving her props. I like that. I
Yes.
like so we're gonna Kandi usually gets the word association. I guess she's having trouble with her connection, and this has never happened before with her. But we're gonna play a word association game. Love doing that. So I want you to say, I'm gonna give you a word, and I want you to tell me the first thing that pops into your head. All right?
Okay.
Okay. Faith,
God.
Kobe.
Brian.
Okay. Oh God. Basketball.
Player. I know
Dad.
I was supposed to go, but that's what's popping in my head. Okay.
Dad.
I'm sorry, what was the word?
Dad.
Dad.
Hmm.
Goat.
Okay. Mom.
Best friend.
Success.
Girl. Easy.
Proverbs.
31.
Oh. Oh, I like that. I like that. Millionaire.
Me.
All right. All right. Friend.
Jasmine. My
Okay.
best friend. Okay. Sorry.
Okay. Enemy.
The devil.
Okay. All right. All right. What does expect to win mean to you?
What expect to win means to me is having faith in your successes, meaning don't take anything less than what's expected of you.
What has been your absolute toughest challenge to overcome? I mean, just a time when you felt like you weren't going to be able to make it, or you weren't be able to go any further.
During quarantine, I was struggling. My recruitment was struggling like really bad. I went from like having 7 to 8 offers to coaches like not letting me commit because like roster spots were filling up, or coaches deciding to like pull away offers because like I wasn't the best at communicating, or they no longer thought I was interested in their team. So at one point I was like, okay, like I don't want to play anymore. Like I had hit an all-time low, and I was like, maybe this just isn't for me. But I had like a great team behind me, such as my parents and trainers who kept like pushing me. I was like, just continue to trust the process and trust in God, and it'll all fall into place. And like with prayer and hard work, of course, like it all fell into place, like they said. So I'm very thankful for that.
Wow. So when the coaches, when they were saying, okay, they're pulling the offers and all of that, I'm pretty sure. I mean, did you ever doubt your ability? Did you doubt yourself?
Yes, sir, I did a lot. And I just felt like nothing was working because I didn't understand where they were really coming from. I'm like, okay, like we just had this great relationship and everything. And I get that COVID like has a huge impact on all of this. But for you to just tell me like you like can't play on my team anymore, it just like it did something to me. For me, it fueled a fire. Like at first, it was like a fire that like I dwindled and started to fall in, and just felt self pity. And then the other half of the fire was pushing me to work harder and to keep going because, like they kept saying, like it'll all fall into fruition if you just keep trusting in God. So
A young lady may be watching, or a young man may be watching, and they're dealing with the self pity thing because even here, like in California, schools have not been open in a year. And another athlete may be watching you, and they're dealing with that same self pity that you were dealing with. What would you say to them?
I would keep saying just let it fuel your fire, not in a negative way, but like in a good way. Like there's hundreds and thousands of coaches like who are looking for players every day. Like don't stop. Like be annoying. Like hit their inbox like on social media. just do anything you can. Like, at the end of the day, if you do all that you can, the rest is in God's hands. So just keep pushing, do everything you can, and just let it fall into place.
I love that, and I can see that your faith is what's been carrying you and is going to carry you even further.
Yes,
Where,
sir.
where did that come from?
Um, First, my mom, of course. She was always big on that, like growing up and taking us to church, like at a really young age. But also, I've been going to like a Christian school since I was in pre-K 3. And at first, I was just like, okay, like it's mandatory, like you have to take Bible class. But I'm not gonna lie, like until like a couple months ago, I really didn't start like really trusting in it because like I started experiencing things for myself. Like of course, like people will tell you, like preachers will tell you stories about like what happens to them and use it as an example as to why you should trust. But like, you never really know until it hits you hard and you have nowhere to go or nothing else to trust in until you do it yourself. So that's when I really just started. It's like, okay, like this is real.
That is awesome, man. Got another comment. Wow, that's a great, inspiring story. Look at you now. Time to prove them wrong. So I am just so honored, ladies and gentlemen. This is Miss Jamia Nesmith and my co-host Kandi Knight. Her internet is acting up, and I know Kandi is probably beating the internet router up by now. She loves to be here. But we're gonna wrap up the interview, Jamia. What is give out your social media? How can we reach you and uh, in your fans? Because I'm now a fan.
Um,
So how can we reach you?
my Twitter handle is J Nesmith NESMITH 35, and my Instagram is my first name Jamia, how it's spelled like at the bottom, underscore Nesmith as well, and that's about it.
Okay, okay. Any parting words? Anything you like to say to your fans, uh, your family, your parents? Here you have made your global debut here on the entertainment. I mean, the Expect to Win experience. Any parting words, Jamia?
First, I would just like to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak to everyone, and thank you everyone like in the comments and stuff, and whoever's watching for being so supportive. I couldn't have done this first without God and my parents, and just like a team full of coaches and my parents, just having my back and supporting me in everything that I do. Um, and for the athletes that are watching, just continue to trust in the process. Like it's all going to come into fruition. Keep working hard and let your work do the talking for you.
Right. Well, Jamia, we gonna definitely be praying for your success in whatever direction the Lord leads you. You're gonna be successful at it. Uh, it has been an honor having you on the show, and your parents have done an awesome, awesome job.
Thank
And
you.
tell Dad don't stop cheering.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And we're going to be sending you an Expect to Win hoodie, and
Thank you.
we're going to send Dad one too. So
Size medium. Size
You
medium.
say you was a size medium.
is Dad there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell Dad to stick his head in the camera. Hey, Dad, we got you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Oh wow.
I love it. I'm trying to. I see Miss Kandi is trying to log back on, but I don't want to close out without her. But Jamia, you are an incredible young lady, and God's hand is on you, and I see nothing but good things in your future.
Thank
So
you.
you are so welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Miss Jamia Nesmith, superstar basketball player, and we're gonna send this to her idol, Mr. Kevin Garnett. And
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. Oh, I'm sorry, Kevin Durant. I'm thinking because I'm related to Kevin Garnett, but that's what I was thinking.
You can send it to both. Be my guest.
All right, we're gonna send it to Kevin Durant and Kevin Garnett.
There we go.
All right. Thank you for being here. And when you make it, and you do not forget about Coach Thomas and Kandi Knight.
I will not.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was the incredible Miss Jamia Nesmith. And I lost my co-host, y'all. I feel lost without Miss Kandi. And but her internet is acting up, and we're gonna go ahead and close out the show tonight. And we want you to make sure you support Jamia when you see her, and any of the young people that you see here on the Expect to Win experience. And let me just say this, for anybody that's watching, student, athlete, parent, anything having is going to be difficult. We have a generation of young people that feel like if it's not easy, then I don't want it. But hard work builds character. And that's what's going to make you successful. That's what's going to give you longevity in whatever career choice you make. So let your character be built. Work hard. Do not give up. Do not. The message behind Expect to Win is this. If you leave it all on the floor, if you leave it all on the court, you leave it all on the field, you leave it all in the classroom, nobody can ask more of you, but only you know that you gave it your all. And when you give it your all, it's not about whether you take first place. You can expect to win because you are a winner. With that being said, on behalf of my co-host, the lovely Miss Kandi Knight, and you can reach Kandi on Kandi on Air is her Instagram, and then Expect to Win Show. You can reach me, J. Thomas Luxury, ETW Athletic A, and also please, you see it right down below, expecttowinaa.com. Purchase our merchandise, purchase our hoodies, our BU, our Expect to Win, our ETW hoodie. You can get all of this stuff on the website. And also, one last announcement. If you are a singer, musician, rapper, we are having a contest. We're looking for a theme song. First prize is $200. So if you are a musician, you have any talent, submit your song to Expect to Win TV at yahoo.com, and we're going to be picking a winner for someone to create a theme song. It must include the name of the show. It must include Kandi Knight name, and it must include Coach Thomas' name. So Expect to Win TV at yahoo.com, or you can message me if you have any questions about the contest. All right. I say to each and every one of you, thank you for watching. It has been a great show, and good night, and God be with you. And once again, on behalf of Kandi Knight, this is the Expect to Win experience. Good night, everybody.